Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Garfield, Tale of Two Kitties. Yeah, it is from 2006, and it feels like it. It's an hour and 19 minutes long. When I say it feels like it, I don't know if they make movies like this anymore. Okay, yeah, I think there was a Garfield movie that came out with Chris Pratt doing the voice. I think it didn't disappear like instantly, like after it was released. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things I'm remembering incorrectly. Like it never existed, but I'm having this kind of Mandela effect thing. I don't know. I don't know. Because Chris Pratt was in everything for about 20 minutes, just like a few years ago. Like every movie. I might be exaggerating. But this does not star Chris Pratt as Garfield. It is Bill Murray once again. He does Lorenzo Music had provided the voice, I believe, for all the animated iterations that sounded very much like Bill Murray, but he came before Bill. Either way, this is the era in which seemed like the movies were plundering everything from the comic strips. Only 2 years after this would they start the march toward plundering nearly every character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2008, starting with Iron Man. And all the digital rendering resources in Hollywood and beyond at ILM and every other small house would spend less time rendering Garfield and more time rendering Iron Man and the Hulk and everybody else. So what we have here is kind of the last of a dying breed. It's a farcical comedy. It's again, I don't think I've seen a farcical comedy in a long time involving so many digital animals. Well, honestly, there's only two versions of Garfield. Yeah, and the rest are real life animals that are given personalities, and sometimes they talk and I don't know if they're I try to look away whenever their mouths move because I really hate it. I really hate that part. It's just me. It's just me. But what we get here is one of those classic mix-ups. Apparently, the head of a royal house in England has passed away, and she leaves her cat Prince with everything, pretty much everything. And Billy Connolly is, I think, a member of her house, her nephew or something like that, and he believes he deserves everything, and he would only get it once the cat has passed away, which won't be forever, but it's way too long for him to wait. He wants it all now, and so he sets upon a plot to. He's willing to get rid of the cat named Prince, who is culturally the opposite Garfield, but looks exactly like him. But he opts to just throw him in the river in a picnic basket, and just thinking, oh, eventually it'll sink, right? Meanwhile, all the animals that the queen of the Carlisle estate, I don't know if can they be called queen? If they're not, I don't know, because there's like one queen at this time, like Queen Elizabeth. Are there other smaller queens, lower queens? I don't know how that all works. But either way, there's a lot of animals living on the grounds. Billy Connolly, who plays Dargis, seriously, that was his name? Did they just not say it enough that I wouldn't have remembered that? Unless it's Dargis? No, Dargis. He's the funny bad guy. He's meant to take all of the abuse when the animals take vengeance upon him. And of course, in all silly manners. This is a film for children. It's not meant to be some sort of dark humor thing. It's lots of slapstick, lots of getting hit in the nuts kind of thing by animals. But of course, I mean, the star is Garfield, who is with his friend John and Odie, and this kind of picks up after the end of the first Garfield, where I thought for sure that his love interest, Liz, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, Breckenmeyer plays John, that I thought they had hooked up, but maybe they just were like officially boyfriend and girlfriend at the end of the last movie. I saw that as part of this series back in 2022. I checked it before I went on, so I'm like April or something. It was like I wasn't even 1,000 episodes in. That was a long time ago, and only 3 years ago, but still, yeah. Apparently, he's wanting to propose to her, but she gets sent off to England coincidentally at the same time that this cat gets thrown in the river. But all the animals, who are also sentient and talk to each other and are played by famous people, but they do not have high level credits. Voice by whatever I have to dig in IMDb to find out who these people are. It's kind of amazing because I'm like, who was playing Prince? It's not Bill Murray doing an accent, not doing a British accent. It's a completely different actor, and I know who it is, and I'm gonna guess it's Tim Curry, and I was right. Who do you get other than that than Tim Curry? Because he's a little bit. He's a, you know how Tim Curry's good at playing just sort of either evil or self-obsessed or just, I don't know, just strange characters. Well, that's what Prince is. He's very much like Garfield, except that they just have completely different tastes. He doesn't understand what lasagna is. Doesn't care about Mondays one way or the other, because he lives a really good life. Not that Garfield doesn't in the home of John, but he just acts like he's put upon all the time. So either way, while Prince is, trying to make his way back to the castle, Garfield gets picked up and found to be, he's the missing cat. And, yeah, he ends up teaming up with the animals who know that he's not really the prince, but they don't tell him that. They try to convince him that he's royalty as well, and that he deserves everything. And he is really loving this life. He has everything he's ever wanted. He just has to ring a bell and the food comes to him. But when he asks for lasagna, it's not so easy. There's plenty of liver and mincemeat pies and all sorts of just awful dishes. But yeah, so he loves it and he hates it at the same time. He misses John, whether he likes it or not. And of course, all the storylines with all the characters intersect. Chaos ensues, and then of course everything works out in the end. It's as it should. There's just some awful silliness, some a little bit creaky visual effects, but it's expected. This movie's nearly 20 years old, so yeah, it's gonna show a little bit. Thankfully, Garfield is not just one of the normal, like, Beverly Hills Chihuahuas where they just animate an orange cat. He's fully animated, as you see here, and so you get a whole lot more performance out of a fully digital cat as compared to, let's make a pig walk into the room and carry a pair of pants in his mouth and then drop them, and then have a bulldog look at the camera long enough for us to make it look like he's talking. Voiced by Bob Hoskins, by the way. Jane Leaves is also, I think she's a duck. I don't know. There's a huge list of names. I'm like, I know who these people are, and they're nowhere close to the list of credited people. Ian Abercrombie plays you've seen him in a million stuff, but he plays the loyal servant of the house. Lucy Davis, who is just from Shaun of the Dead, she's the best friend. So yeah. Why can't I remember Sean's girlfriend's name? Come on, it's in like all the lines. Like, go around, get Liz. Here we go, get Liz. Liz's best friend, and the failed actress. She plays a small role because Billy Connolly, as he's trying to also take over the castle, he just keeps hitting on women, and she figures into this somehow. I think she has to do with some sort of legal process. I really don't know. she's shown the plans. There's an opportunity. In order for us to understand what's going on, the bad guy can't just rub his hands together and talk about it. He has to tell somebody, and she becomes a confidant for some reason, which I imagine he just wants to get her. Yeah, he wants to bring her into his life, let's say. And he so he gets to show that, hey, we're going to rebuild all this stuff around the castle, get rid of all the animals, and that's why the animals have a stake in this. They're not just, hey, let's mess with the guy who's tried to kill our friend, the cat, and they see the cat prince as their royalty, not the human royalty. So I know I've told you way too much about this film, but it's not really a film you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, that's a surprise. and honestly, if you actually watch this far and you still retain anything I've said about this, I'd be very surprised. Like, oh my gosh, he messed that up. He yeah, no. But yeah, no, it's a decent cast. At least they're consistent with the cast from the first film, and then I don't think they made any more. If they did, it's just forgotten to time. I searched Garfield. And I am gonna just tap just because there it is, the Garfield movie with Chris Pratt. Yes, from 2024. That did exist. Okay, I wasn't going crazy. Now, if you want to play a game, try to guess who's voicing that animal, this is worth it. You could play I've already given you hints, so if you play it against a friend of yours, well, you have the advantage. Just play a drinking game. Just be careful. There's just a lot of Bill Murray as Garfield, just saying wacky things that you imagine that weren't scripted, but probably were. But it just feels like people were writing for Bill Murray to just be Bill. So you're going to want to do that when you make a movie that stars Bill Murray, even when he's a cat. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 18. All right, 18 toward the beginning. 18. Oh, okay. I've been wanting to see this for a little bit. It's in the documentary category, but it's not a documentary. It's the red category is documentaries, reality shows, and live performances. This is a concert by one of America's most iconic performers. And I don't know how long this is, but he is legendary for playing some really long shows. And he's touring America right now. I think I don't know where he's at currently, but friends of mine just saw him in England not too long ago. They did not bring their cat and dog. They're talking cat and dog. By the way, nobody understands Garfield and Odie. There's no weird magical thing with that. They're just like, oh, you're in our luggage, and somehow that's a thing that's okay that happened and nobody inspected it, coming all the way across the ocean. But it's 2006, so 9/11 was only 5 years beforehand. So they were not careful about luggage at all during that time. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about that. But what we got next is Bruce Springsteen, backstage and back streets. This does strike me as, when they say backstage, that maybe it has an element of a documentary, like it's a behind the scenes kind of thing. So it may not just be a pure concert, but we'll find out. Bruce Springsteen, backstage and back streets is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.